Welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
the Parlay Pounder.
You got it.
And we got a Big Ten parlay here?
Yeah, Big Ten parlay incoming at the end of this segment.
Oh, all right. Well, then let's start with the Big 12, I guess.
Let's start with the Big 12 so we can get into the real stuff.
This is a top 25 matchup.
This is a lot more real than the Big Ten.
Big Ten West,
Big Ten
anyway.
West, anyways.
Big Ten East, you got two in the top 25 pass.
Hell yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, that's really good. That's really nice. Okay, we're top heavy. We got Kansas State still ranked. They're 25th in the nation in most polls. 6-2. Kansas State taking on the 7-1 Texas Longhorns. They're ranked 7th in the nation. They're also, I think, 7th in the college football playoff rankings. And they're only a 4-point favorite, though, at home against the Wildcats. That's a Fox 11 o'clock kickoff. You got that total there at 49.5 right now.
For sure. The Texas Longhorns should be favored at home. Let's just get that out of the way, though. But they're getting a little extra sauce here, Andy, because I believe that they're the more sexier team. You know,
This line has come down a lot.
Exactly. But I do believe that's what I'm saying is it started out, a little bit inflated than what it should be. K-State doesn't have the household name or the reputation yet, but instead what they do have is a top 20 offense and a top 20 scoring defense in the country. Kansas State has been tripped up twice on the road this season, but I believe the Wildcats are one of the most balanced teams in college football and are going to – I might sprinkle a little money line on this. I think Longhorns drop a game, but if you can find this at +4 at +4 or +4.5, I am on the Kansas State Wildcats.
That money line's at a +155, and I don't know what it is, but the Wildcats have Texas's number.
They do.
It just seems like every year they spoil them. Like you're almost a little bit more surprised when Kansas State doesn't give them a heck of a game, or goes to overtime, or whatever the case may be. Check this out. Last 19 times that Kansas State has played Texas, the Wildcats are 13-6 against the spread. Against the spread.
I like that.
So that's where I'm at with it. And that's where everybody else is at, too, because this opened. The early line was at -8.5 Texas.
Yeah, that's easy money.
Right there. So, you saw a wave of that come in on Monday.
For sure.
Getting a little closer to kickoff here Thursday. So, of course, that line has moved all the way down to a square 4. Still off that key number of 3, though. So, you still got that field goal win for Kansas State. How many times have we seen that? The Wildcats win by a field goal.
I do believe that, even if Texas does win, like you said, it'll be by a field goal right at the end to beat Kansas State. But whenever I can get a team that's this good on an underdog roll, that's where I'm clicking in. I'm taking it. Give me Kansas State and the points.
Yeah, and Texas, they're so worried about their rankings in the college football playoff, they should maybe be a little bit more.
They should worry about the cats in purple coming to town.
Yeah, I think so. Should we move to a night game?
Let's do it.
SEC. This is going to be a lot of fun. 6:45 kickoff. That's going to be on CBS, as a lot of SEC games are. Number 13th ranked in the nation, LSU Tigers taking on Alabama, who's ranked number 8 right now. Tigers are 6-2. Crimson Tide, 7-1. Crimson Tide is a 3-point favorite at home.
Alabama's playing their best football right now, Andy.
Yeah, they are. 7
straight wins, and they have won 8 of the last 10 meetings against LSU.
Yes, they have.
At home, Alabama should be favored. However, there's an argument to be made that LSU is the better team from top to bottom in the much more trustworthy quarterback. The guy's in the Heisman rating. Also, LSU hasn't had much winning success against the Tide. It has covered 6 of the last 10 meetings. I'm getting free points here. I believe I'm going with LSU, especially if it stays under that above that field goal with the plus money. So give me the LSU Tigers. I'm seeing that +3.5, and that's where I would bet on it.
Right.
If it gets closer to +3, you got to really look at the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, and this is just like the previous matchup where that opening line was around 7.5. And boy, it got bet down in a hurry because everyone's expecting a close game.
For sure.
And I think you got a lot of folks, odds makers that are saying, ooh, wrong team's favored here, period.
Yeah.
It's just that it was so far on the other side there, and Alabama's hot, and it's at home. I get it.
Yeah.
It's a night game. I get it. But LSU talent-wise, and at the most important position, the quarterback, the trigger man,
Jaden Daniels. Yep.
They might have an edge here over Alabama.
Yeah, no matter what in prime time, even if it's a home or away, you go with the best quarterback on the field, and Jaden Daniels is definitely that.
What do you think of this total at 61?
I think that is inflated, Andy. I just do believe that
it's a lot of
both
points.
Defenses are better than that.
Yeah.
Maybe they haven't shown it or whatever, but I like both teams to keep this close, and I don't believe it's going to be a shootout. So I would lead with the under.
You leaning with the under?
Yep.
The total's smacked 5 of the last 6 games for LSU.
Yep. They haven't played Alabama each time.
That is true.
Yeah.
All righty. Should we move on over to the Big Ten?
Let's move over to the Big Ten.
All right. This is an 11 o'clock kickoff on FS1. Up at Sparty. The Nebraska Huskers are a 3-point favorite on the road against Michigan State. That total is really, really low at 34.5.
I'm going to stick with the Big Red here. But I don't know. Might be staying away. No, I'm never staying away from the Cornhuskers. The Cornhuskers win over the weekend wasn't without problems. Obviously, Nebraska lost 4 fumbles and not just 14 first downs on offense, but the defense continues to play great to get the W for the Cornhuskers. They just allowed 195 yards, only 99 passing, Andy, and had 3 takeaways. That is 14 or fewer points allowed in 3 straight games.
Special teams touchdown as well.
For sure, Andy.
That was awesome.
For sure. As for Michigan State, they continue to flail in their last outing, compiling just 15 first downs, 299 yards, only 190 passing, 2 turnovers, and 4 of 13 on third down against Minnesota.
I mean, that's what happens when your head coach is having phone sex or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And then you get fired, but you were supposed to get fired for your bad job, but they couldn't figure out a way, and then they
figured it out.
They figured it out.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be slapped with a lawsuit just like Northwestern, probably lose a lot of money. This line, interestingly enough, opened up as a Nebraska 1.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
Now Nebraska is a 3-point favorite, so it's moving up. A lot of bettors, whether they're squares, they're sharps, whoever, the betting public, they believe in the Huskers too here.
Yeah, no doubt. And I did get this at 1.5. I still believe it is still good at 3, Andy. Just for the fact that the Spartans have scored 16 or fewer points in 5 of their last 6 games. I don't see them doing this against a much better defense than a lot of them that they have played. I just like the Huskers in this spot. And guess what? A lot on the line for the Huskers. They're at 5 wins right now. 1 more puts us at bowl eligibility, which we haven't had in so long. This is where you need to do it. This is the least competitive team left on our schedule.
Got to get it.
Got to get it now if we're going to get it. So I like Nebraska by 3. I really liked them by 1.5.
And the old Skurs are on a winning streak, right? 3 games, first time in a long time. And I really like how Coach Rule has shifted gears and said, okay, we're going to rush the ball and we're going to play solid deep. We have to lean on our defense.
We have to.
If we're going to win games, it's what we got to do. And that's why the under has smacked 4 of the last 5 road games.
Yeah.
You already talked about MSU and their terrible offense.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is at 34.5, and I'm looking at the under.
Yeah.
I feel the under.
I do too, Andy, if I had to lean one way or the other. And a big reason for that is Nebraska seems like it's turning on a corner that we play good in the second half.
Yeah.
Especially in this last game against Purdue. Nebraska held a 21-0 edge going into the fourth quarter and cruised to a 31-14 win. So I really believe that they can clamp down on this team. Under's probably going to hit. I believe that the Huskers still have their woes on offense. Get about 21 points in this game. Call it game, call it under.
Win ugly, give me the under. That's fine with me. GBR.
Let's
go
do it.
Big Red. All right, Mr. Parlay
Yes.
Pounder. You got a Big Ten parlay play?
I do got the Big Ten parlay play. I got 3 Big Ten teams. Minnesota at home against Illinois. Just some money line sitting at a -125. I just believe Minnesota is defensively a better team and going to edge out the win at home. I got Nebraska at a -145 money line to beat Michigan State straight up. And to round this out, I got number 11 Penn State at Maryland covering a 6.5-point line.
Favorite.
Yep. favorite at a minus 160. I believe all three of these are likely to hit. Putting 25 on this to win 100.
The Terrapins, the Turtles, they've been pretty slow out there in Maryland the last couple weeks. I do think Penn State could get the better of them here.
Exactly. And just by a touchdown, I think that's definitely going to happen. Like we said, Penn State, number 11 in the nation, still holding on to that college football playoff dream. The Turtles have looked very slow in the last 3 games.
All right, so we got Minnesota defending home on the money line. Huskers going on the road, winning out right over
Michigan State
with the money line. Then we also got Penn State covering.
By 6.5, yep.
All right. Hey, it's hard to argue that one, right?
It's going to happen.
Three-legger.
It's going to happen.
We could do that.
We can do it.
Take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Nebraska Brewing Company. World class in every glass. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.